I'm personally horrified. I can say this, that we were all horrified at many of the attacks that happened on civilians during the Ukraine war, Mr. Blackman, as you know, and the Republic Media Network took a very strong stand on it. And we were the first global network to be at Bucha when women and children were massacred on the outskirts of Kiev. But I must say that what we have seen, Mr. Blackman, what we have seen happen with the Israelis is beyond definition, Mr. Blackman, because this is a deliberate targeting of women and children, that is women and children, non-combatants, for the first time ever. And the ironical thing, Mr. Blackman, is immediately the day after, the same groups start talking about human rights. At the same time, they're releasing tapes of the rapes and kidnapping of Israeli women. They are on the other side talking about human rights. So this is a very ironical situation. Mr. Blackman, the United Kingdom, India, all supporting Israel. But those who are supporting the Hamas say you cannot have a disproportionate response against the Hamas. They know Israel will hit, but they seem to be putting pressure to limit the extent of the retaliation. Will that work, and should it work, Mr. Blackman, in your view?
Most certainly not. I mean, we are clearly in a position whereby more than 1,000 Israeli citizens have been killed. More than 1,000 are unaccounted for. The terrorist group Hamas have taken at least 150 hostages and are threatening to murder them as time goes by. The sad reality is that these people, I'm afraid, need to be eliminated, and once and for all. And I think we are 100% behind the IDF and the State of Israel in combating this terrorist outrage. Clearly, the policy that Israel has followed has been to contain Hamas within Gaza. This breakout from Gaza has been deliberately targeted at the end of a major Jewish festival where everyone was celebrating. You've mentioned the 40 babies that were massacred at a kibbutz. There were 260 young people at a music festival, completely unarmed, who were indiscriminately shot by terrorists. And then they captured various hostages and dragged them back. We've seen an 85-year-old Holocaust survivor dragged into Gaza. And you imagine the horrors she must have seen in her lifetime. The sad reality is this. You can't broker with these terrorists. You have to deal with them with a very firm and action. Clearly, what is going to happen over the next few days, I suspect, is after the retaliation from Israel attacking Gaza from the air, will be a ground offensive, and the slow process of eliminating all those Hamas leaders and supporters. And I think that's quite clear that has to happen before there can become peace. This is an organisation that took over Gaza after a so-called election and hasn't given up power or even tested the will of the people of Gaza for the last 17 years. So the reality is that they are not representative of the Palestinian people, but they are going to bring, I predict, terrible civilian casualties amongst the people of Gaza and the perfectly innocent civilians of Gaza.